In every NFL draft class, there are players who have high expectations, but they never quite live up to the hype. These players are what we refer to as busts. Think guys like Jamarcus Russell, Johnny Manziel, and Ryan Leaf. Guys who had remarkable college careers, but for whatever reason, they just didn't pan out at the professional football level.
Johnny Manziel will become even bigger in the city of Cleveland than his buddy and business partner LeBron James ever was in the city of Cleveland.
On the contrary, every NFL draft also provides what are referred to as steals. And these are players that are hidden gems that are drafted in later rounds and they end up exceeding expectations. For example, of draft steals, think Joe Montana or Tom Brady. Welcome back to the Bills Bunker. I'm Jake Varco, and the NFL Draft is under 48 hours away at the time of me recording this video, so it's getting exciting. It's a big time around the National Football League, a lot of preparation for every team going into this draft, so they can try to find one of these draft steals. In this video, we're going to look at the top 5 Buffalo Bills draft steals of all time, and while they've never had a steal quite like Tom Brady or Joe Montana, they've definitely had their fair share of impact players that they stole in a later round. We're going to dive into the top 5, but before we do that, I'd like to take a moment to encourage you to subscribe to the channel right here on the Bills Bunker. Stay tuned for more content coming your way. Like I said, the draft's coming up. There's going to be a lot of content, and there's going to be a lot of content in the upcoming 2024 NFL season. If you like this video, click like. Let's dive in to the top 5.
Let's get ready to rumble!
At number 5 is wide receiver Stevie Johnson, who was a fan favorite during his 6 seasons with the Buffalo Bills. Stevie was drafted by the Bills in the 7th round of the 2008 NFL Draft with the 224th overall selection, and he's currently 10th all-time on Buffalo's all-time receiving yards leader list. He had 3 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 yards receiving in Buffalo from 2010 until 2012, and he finished his tenure with the Bills after accumulating a total of 301 receptions for over 3,800 yards and 28 touchdowns. Johnson was one of the very few bright spots on some Bills teams that were in the midst of a lengthy playoff drought, and he had several memorable plays. Obviously, Johnson's not one of those, Tom Brady late round quarterback steals, but he was a very impactful wide receiver during his tenure with the Bills, and for the Bills to find that value in the 7th round after the 220th overall pick, I mean, come on. He's definitely worthy of being on this list for that reason. Coming in at number 4 is defensive tackle Kyle Williams, who spent his entire 13-year NFL career with the Buffalo Bills, who drafted him in the 5th round of the 2006 NFL Draft, 134th overall. Williams was a leader of the Bills and a true embodiment of what it means to be a professional football player in Buffalo. He was named to 6 Pro Bowls, and he was a 2nd-team All-Pro in 2010. He spent his entire career with a Bills team that struggled mightily, and he was here for most of the infamous 17-year playoff drought. However, he did play in one playoff game with Buffalo, as he was a member of the 2017 team that snapped the streak, and in a must-win Week 17 matchup that season between the Bills and the Dolphins, Williams had a special moment that will forever be remembered by Bills Mafia when he rushed the ball for his first and only touchdown to help the Bills get the win. After the win, Williams watched on with his teammates as the Bengals defeated the Ravens to help the Bills clinch a playoff spot. I vividly remember all of this going down. It was New Year's Eve. I watched the Bills game. I was so excited. I kept checking over to see the score of the Ravens and the Bengals, and it looked like the Ravens were going to win, but then Tyler Boyd with a huge touchdown to help Buffalo secure that playoff spot. And it's awesome that Kyle Williams was a member of the team that snapped the drought, because he was one of those heart and soul players, a cornerstone piece of a team that just didn't have much success. Huge draft steal for the Bills. Absolute steal. 134th overall in 2006. Great value pick there. And now we'll need to turn back the clock for the third best draft steal in Bills history, as linebacker Mike Stratton was picked by the Bills 100th overall in the 13th round of the 1962 AFL draft. Stratton had an impressive 13-year pro football career, with 12 of those seasons being played in Buffalo. During his Bills career, Stratton won 2 AFL championships with Buffalo, finishing his career as a 6-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time first-team All-Pro. Stratton was inducted into the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame in 1994, and his name remains honored at Highmark Stadium. Now, this guy being drafted in 1962, obviously I didn't have the chance to watch Stratton play, but from all the research I've done, he was a great player and huge draft steal for the Bills. He's got to be number 3 on this list. Coming in at number 2 is another member from the 1962 AFL draft class, Tom Cestac, who was picked by Buffalo in the 17th round with the 132nd overall pick. Cestac had a shortened career of only 7 years due to injuries, but he still managed to win a pair of AFL championships with the Bills, while also being named to the All-AFL team 4 times in his career. He finished his career with 51 sacks, posting a career best 14.5 bags in 1964. He's regarded by many as one of the best defensive linemen to ever play the game, and he's also a member of the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame. Reports claim that this guy played an entire season with 3 broken ribs, so he was tough as nails too. Absolute legend of the game. I didn't get to watch him play yet again, but from all the research I've done, he's a legend and a massive draft steal for the Buffalo Bills. He's coming in at number 2, but nobody quite compares to the next guy on this list. And at number 1, hold up, wait a second. Drum roll, please. At number 1 is without a doubt Andre Reed, who is the Bills' all-time leading receiver in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, and he was an integral part of the Buffalo teams that made 4 straight Super Bowl appearances in the 90s. He was selected 86th overall by the Bills in the 4th round of the 1985 NFL Draft, and he spent a memorable 15 years in Buffalo with the Bills. Over the duration of his impressive career, number 83 had 3 seasons with 1,000 receiving yards, and finished his career with over 13,000 receiving yards and 88 total touchdowns. Just think about how many yards that is and how many times you have to go up and down the field. 13,000 yards. Think about it. That's a lot. Andre is a member of the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. He'll forever be remembered for his time in Buffalo and is beloved by Bills Mafia as someone who's an integral part of the 90s Bills team that made 4 straight Super Bowl appearances. And now I'm going to show you one of my prized possessions. This right here, an autographed mini helmet by Andre Reed. It's got the Hall of Fame inscription on it. I recall meeting him outside of Highmark Stadium after a Bills game a few years back. It was a pleasure to meet him, get this helmet signed, and honestly, Andre Reed, one of the great wide receivers in the history of the National Football League, Buffalo Bills legend, you know, one of those big 4 players on that Bills 90s team. You look, Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas. Those guys are all in the Hall of Fame, and there's obviously some other notable names too, but those are the 4 that everyone recognizes the most. And he's obviously deserving of being on this list at number 1. No one really comes close to him. But I want to know in the comment section down below, how are you feeling about this list? Let me know. Is there anything you would change? There's obviously other people who are deserving of being mentioned, but they don't quite make this list for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you haven't yet, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, the draft's coming. There's going to be more content coming your way. Click like if you like this video. I'm Jake Varco. This is the Bills Bunker. Go Bills.